Every alchemical transformation follows 4 steps: initiation, shadow, cleansing, and the transmutation to gold. So choose your doorway, alchemist, and let the great work begin. Doorway number 1. Doorway number 2. Doorway number 3. Trust the doorway you're drawn to, and let's begin. Hello, alchemist, and welcome to your initiation through doorway number 1. For your mirror or initiation card, you chose Spells from the Hearth. There's a feeling in you of wanting to come home to yourself, of wanting a level of peace that maybe you felt like hasn't been in your home and your heart. Because Spells from the Hearth is about transmuting your home from just a place where you live to being something you embody. You embody your home so that no matter where you go, it feels like home. But on top of that, there is a physical real world element to it, which is creating a sacred space in your home so that every single day feels like a movement through sacred work. Because truthfully, everything is part of the divine, so therefore everything is sacred, right? Let's see what's working in your shadow today. Oh, I'm feeling this one. Okay. So you may be feeling overwhelmed by the news, by all the chit chat, by the chatter around you, whether it be national, international, or really even in just your town or your social circle. You're feeling like you want to find this comfort and peace, but your mind is so busy with everything that's going on that you feel confused. And in a lot of ways, you don't even know where to start. Yeah, your shadow is, you're overwhelmed, right? There's such a huge juxtaposition between these two cards. Peaceful by the fire, really earth-based, seeing that there's a beautiful scene, but this person is looking at a newspaper and being overwhelmed by all the thoughts that are coming up from it. And you know, the human mind, I don't believe, was meant to take on 8 billion people's information at once, right? So the fact that we are able to absorb all, or, have access to all that now, you have to be responsible about regulating what you input, because what you input is influencing your mood and your ability to feel peaceful in your own home, be that your body and or your actual house, right? So that's what's hiding in your shadow right now. Let's talk about the next step, which is how to cleanse the mirror. So this would be the distillation before we do the transmutation. Good luck. Good luck. All right. So the universe is conspiring in your favor on this. You just need to take the steps. There is a very peaceful energy to this, even with the chaos of the shadow card. Because deep down, you know already what you need to do. And that if you make that shift, the universe is going to help you along with it. You've just been a little reluctant to make that shift for some reason. It's really easy when society makes everything so addictive. The news cycle is meant to be addictive. It triggers things in your physiological body to keep you hooked. And if that's the case, then you're not weak for falling for it, right? It's just natural that we all fall for it. Even highly spiritual people fall for it sometimes. And so let's see how we can transmute this into gold and make it a little easier for you to let go of maybe any kind of cycle like this that you're clinging to. The Lovers. It starts with a choice. What do you want? Do you want this peaceful? And I say romantic because it's romantic as in romanticized. it's very romantic to have this kind of life. Not necessarily love romantic, but, you're being called that you can have that romance, right? Oh my goodness, the Six of Cups, playfulness. Instead of this, do this. Instead of overindulging in things that make you feel bad, do things that make you feel good and playful. I literally like to just have a tea party. Sometimes with stuffed animals, mostly with my rabbit and my dog, but still. The point is that, and I have a series of shorts called Mini Whimsies that take 1 to 5 minutes that just help rebuild this. So feel free to jump over there and take a look at those if you need little micro things to start changing your habits from this consumption to whimsical creation. Because whimsical creation is the heart of the hearth, right? You get into flow, and then when you kind of get into that mindset, good luck flows to you because you're vibrating at a good luck frequency. Queen of Wands. Look at that, a frequency. She's playing the harp. Yes. Your transmutation is clear. It's time for you to let go of certain habits, especially in regards to how you consume information. Maybe it's doom scrolling. Maybe it's watching too much news that you have no control over. And transmuting that into making your life as comfortable and safe as possible, because through that, you can actually help a lot more people when you're stable, right? Watching a bunch of news and worrying about it doesn't help. I mean, it's good to keep up with it so you can, become active in the ways that work for you, but you can't pour from an empty cup. So make sure that you're also doing, whether it's mini whimsies or a random act of kindness, because that uplifts you. I have a playlist about that as well. Or just becoming comfortable and safe in yourself, that makes you a beacon for other people. And then they'll know that you're someone who can help and who's willing to help, because it'll just pour off of your aura. Oh my goodness. I'm claiming this doorway. This is good stuff. Look at that. 10 of Cups. This really, I think that maybe if you are having issues in the relationship department, like that you maybe haven't found the right person, or you're worried because you've only had crappy relationships in the past, I feel like if you stop distracting yourself and you start focusing on the things that make you joyful and happy, that's going to draw in another playful, fun person. I mean, you have the 2 cards, especially in a specific deck. The 10 of Cups in this deck is much more sensual than it is in a lot of other decks. But yeah, so there is definitely a call for a romantic relationship here. I don't usually do many romantic readings, but they've been coming out lately. So I guess in the collective consciousness, there's a lot of people out there who are saying, I'm not taking crappy relationships anymore. I'm going to evolve myself. And then from that space, I will attract the right person, or I'll be so content with my own love that it won't even matter. But the truth is once you're content in your own love, that's the doorway that opens up the kind of love that you deserve, right? Because if you're always self-hating or distracting or whatever, when that happens, you attract people who are either also self-hating or want to use your self-deprecation against you. And that's not the kind of vibration that brings this kind of love, a 10 of Cups kind of love. Wow. And coming back to spells from the hearth real quick before we say goodbye. Everything that you do is magic. Cooking, you put your emotions into it and it's magical. Cleaning, you have purpose and you're cleaning your home because you want to spread, good energy through your home. All those things are magic. So don't think that of the sacred as being something separate from your regular life. The sacred is your regular life. You can add more deeply sacred moments like a tarot reading or going to a place of worship, whatever frosts your cookies. But when you start weaving the sacred through your daily life, that's what really raises your vibration and brings in this kind of energy. All right, Doorway 1. I'm so glad you joined me today. Please comment below about how this is playing out in your life. The great work continues, alchemists. May this guide you with grace and purpose. I'll see you next time. Hello, doorway number 2, and welcome to your initiation. Your first card that you picked today, the Beltane Lover. This is your mirror or your initiation. So this is what's reflecting. You are either in love or you want to be in love. And this doesn't necessarily mean another person. You can be in love with yourself. You can be in love with life. Your heart can be drawn to love in many forms. Beltane is the holiday in the wheel of the year that is really about sensuality. You know, lovers get together, they crown the May Queen, they dance around the maypole, which is very symbolic, and they jump the bonfire. You know, there's just so many rituals, and it's about, you know, fertility and vibrancy and sensuality. So I think that you're trying to call more of this into your life, the spark that you remember, the light that you know is available to you if you're able to clear out some of the old junk, right? And your shadow is going to reveal a little bit more about which direction, whether you're in this love, whether you're looking for this love, whether it's on its way to you. Let's take a look. Okay. Yeah. I think that doorway 2, you are looking for this love, but you feel like you keep getting put off course, probably by, you know, false lovers, false friends. Like I said, lover can mean a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship. If you're in a relationship already, it could mean that you want to renew the passion or the spark, or maybe you're thinking it's time to let go and fly off to something new. But either way, there's definitely a level of confusion here, especially around love. And you feel like love is supposed to be a certain way. It's supposed to be peaceful. It's supposed to be, it's not supposed to be hard. Now, life is hard and throws hard things at a couple, but within the marriage or within the relationship or even within a friendship, there should be a framework of kindness. There should be a framework of compassion so that when there are issues, you don't turn against each other. You turn against the problem. What was this one? You turn against the problem. You don't turn against each other. And I think a lot of people forget that because we are really given the struggle love narrative. But you're ready to leave the idea of struggle love behind. You want this peaceful, pure, and by pure, I mean like that it comes naturally and that person doesn't have to be trained, quote unquote. They don't have to be taught. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to do anything. They just come to you naturally in that loving state that you want and that you deserve. And they're already the match for you. You don't try to twist yourself into knots or try to solve the puzzle of their psyche in order to receive love from them. They just naturally give it in a way that pleases you, and you naturally give it in a way that pleases and compliments them. So now that we've seen the shadow, let's take a look at what is cleansing the mirror. What is the root of our distillation so that we can transmute this into goal? Life purpose. Ooh, okay. I love this because you have this tree and then below it, the roots are like another tree. This is actually reminiscent of the 3 worlds in shamanic some shamanic practices. I'm not going to say any specific, but like just basically in spiritual, a lot of spiritual things, there's 3 worlds, and in the upper world is a tree, and in the lower world is a tree that's upside down, almost like roots, and the trees are full of stars, and the stars are memories. So you are on the verge of remembering your life purpose, and when you do, it's going to transform your entire view of this situation, of how you view love, of how you view confusion around love, because I think you're going to come to a point when you realize your life purpose. And it's not, sometimes it comes as a lightning strike, but usually it evolves slowly, usually through the transmutation of a painful life situation. And like I said, a lot of times that painful situation is heartbreak, is a relationship that didn't work out. And one of the things that happens, I believe, is that we project expectations onto other people, even when we're being like, I know that I'm always like, oh, I'm understanding and I'm kind and all that when I'm in a relationship. But I'm still projecting like, why aren't you being this nice to me? Now I deserve to be treated that way, but I'm saying you need to change to be nicer to me. Instead of me just saying, your truth and my truth don't match, so I need to go. Instead, I'm waiting for them to change. That doesn't work. You find your life purpose, you find your balance, and then it won't be a maze anymore. So don't go around in your head confusing yourself on this. You know the truth in your heart. You know who you are, you know what you deserve, and you know what you want deep down. It might have gotten confused and covered up, because when you're with certain kinds of people, they will really confuse the boo out of you, won't they? Now let's see how you can transmute this to gold. 8 of Pentacles, weaving the web of community with other people. Doing the slow and steady work inside yourself will start reflecting on the outside. And your life purpose will slowly be revealed through these connections. And that life purpose is what will connect you back to the potential for a love of your life, the kind that you want to hold on to for the rest of your life. And like I said, doesn't necessarily need to be romantic. You know what? That's just the caveat. I'm not going to say it again. Let's see what else is going on here. Queen of Wands. This came up in another doorway. I think doorway number 1. I can't remember. But basically, it had to be doorway 1, right? Because this is just doorway 2. Getting into flow with yourself, your hobbies, things that you love, is the fire that's going to spark off everything else in your life, your life purpose, getting out of this confusion. Because once you have a purpose and an aim, and you feel really solid in what you deserve and what you expect, this confusion just dissipates. And when other people come in and try to throw their confusing games in your face, you can't fall for it. You're above it. 8 of Wands. This is fast moving. Once it clicks for you, it's going to click. It's going to click. Let go. I see a lot of that. Like she's just like, let go. This is coming to you. It's just a matter of timing of how much you're going to let yourself stay stuck in this maze. If you go ahead and say, and it's not even about getting out of the maze. It's more about realizing the maze is fake, and you don't have to get in it at all. You don't have to play that game. You can it's like I always say, like if life is a playing field, or a relationship is a playing field, and the person is down there that you're with is down there being all dramatic and keeps pulling you into drama, you keep getting stuck. But if you just step off the playing field and now you're in a box above it, they can't pull you back into that. You see it from a higher vantage point. And that's the energy I'm getting, especially with this Queen of Wands and the peacefulness of the Beltane lover. Oh my goodness. Look at that. 2 queens. Yes. Root yourself in your principles. Root yourself in your values. Get out there and start building on your dream, even if it's for 1 minute a day. This will get you out of this shadow maze in your mind, get you aimed towards your life purpose, and then you can rise above it. You're both rooted and in flow. Ooh, got goosebumps on this one. All right, alchemists, your great work continues. You're doing such a good job. Please comment below how this is playing out in your life. I'm really looking forward to finding my Beltane lover someday. But you know what? I'm super happy with myself and my life now, so that's just going to be a bonus if it happens. I will see you next time, and may this guide you with grace and purpose. Hello, alchemists, and welcome to your initiation through doorway number 3. You picked She is Moonlight Shy. I feel like with this, is there a brightness to yourself that you are afraid to show the world? We'll explore that a little more. So this is your mirror. Right now, you're feeling a little shy. Now, let's take a look at your shadow and what's going on there, and that will help us understand more about your mirror, because you know your mirror and your shadow are hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. You can't clear your mirror until your shadow is understood. So what is your shadow holding for you? You're afraid that if you're seen, that it's going to cause conflict. Are you in a relationship where you have to make yourself smaller? You are this wild, beautiful creature who wants to dance in the moonlight, but you're bogged down by everyday things because either a relationship or society or your job is keeping you trapped in that. So you want to shine more, but you've been taught that shining is a little bit, emotionally dangerous. So you're scared to do that. That's definitely something you should look into. You should reflect on. You are bright and you are vibrant. That is your natural state. I love this next to this card because this card's saying, oh, all that glitters is gold. And this is saying the true worth is the brightness that you shine and to not shy away from it. And it's funny because the whole theme of this is turn this into gold, but the transmutation of our inner world is so much more valuable than the metaphor of gold. It's this, it's almost like the metaphor of alchemizing into moonlight or into sunlight, into pure beingness, into pure energy. Okay, let's see what we can do to distill this down and cleanse the mirror before we get into the transmutation part. Truth. Okay. There's a truth that you're not facing. And look, mirror, what an important symbol. Moon, mirror. You're not accepting something about the situation that you really want to accept. I still, especially with these two ants, is there a relationship where there's a lot of conflict and you're refusing to face the truth about it, even though you kind of know deep down what the truth is, that you've had to make yourself smaller in order to avoid conflict? You definitely deserve better than that. So let's see how we can transmute this. It's the best way to transmute this for you. You know, everyone deserves human respect and decency. And part of that is to be allowed to just be yourself. I mean, some people will try to control what you wear, what you eat. They want to make you into their perfect partner rather than just letting you be yourself. And it's a trap that even the kindest people can fall into. Oh, if he is better, I can teach him to be better. Or, oh, that's just the way he is. Or, they're trying to change you and to make you the perfect partner. All of those will make you feel smaller, will make you feel in conflict, and will make you so confused that it's hard for you to see the truth in your own mirror, right? So let's see how this transmutation will take place. Okay. You got strength first. So this is not going to be easy when you feel like you've been hidden away for so long. It's going to be very confusing. And that's where you've got to reconnect with your intuition so that maybe you can see the situation more clearly. And a lot of times, maybe you'll know the truth, but you have to strength/willpower your way out of a situation before you can see it clearly. But you can only do what you can do when you can do it. So make sure you're gentle with yourself. If you know that you need to leave a certain situation and it's taking you a long time, be gentle with yourself. Be understanding. These patterns and bonds weren't created overnight and they're not going to get broken overnight. It's going to be a challenge. And like I said, this could be a relationship or anything else. in your life. Yeah. Four of Swords. It's time for you to rest. It's time for you to take some time, have some peace. Let your subconscious do some work. Trust what bubbles up from it, right? So a lot of times if we take this rest space in our minds, a mental rest, not trying to overanalyze it, the actual truth will kind of surge up slowly. So you can even say, I always call it's a little ritual I call giving it to the night, in reference to St. John of the Cross's Dark Night of the Soul. And what he says is that we'll often sabotage ourselves. So the divine will cut us off from the subconscious work we're doing. So what I do is I say, okay, here's my problem. I'm giving it to the night, and I just kind of release it into my subconscious or into the universe or whatever you want to say, or to God, whatever you believe. And sometimes a few days or even a few weeks later, I'll start getting more confident, and I'll start getting feelings about what I'm supposed to do. I'll get glimpses of the truth until it suddenly solidifies and I understand it and I feel much more devoted. 5 of Wands. Yeah, this is the energy you're tired of being in. You've got to transmute this energy. And the way to do that is through this process of resting, letting go, using your strength so that you can finally see the truth of the situation. Now, when you have this rest and this stuff starts coming back up, it's going to feel like a Sisyphus situation, like you're rolling a boulder uphill and it keeps rolling down on you. So don't get discouraged. This is the stage where most people give up. They see the truth and then they're like, nope, too much. But you're strong. You might be shy, but you're strong and you are willing to fight for yourself once you can see clearly what you need to fight for. Don't get caught up in that person's drama. I was saying in doorway number 2 that when there are people and they're being very dramatic and they're pulling manufactured drama into your life. Because honestly, if you think about it, so much of the drama that we have to deal with is manufactured stuff. Like other people will be throwing a bunch of wrenches in our relationship for no reason except their own trauma patterns. But it's not even real stuff. It's just, not that trauma is not real. I mean, I've got a ton of trauma stuff that I work through. But more like their trauma might not be real now, but the patterns of it are causing them to stay in this sort of mired down dramatic playing field. And then if you get involved with a person like this, even if you do not create drama, you get pulled into their muddy drama. And that's very 10 of Swords energy, right? And your goal is to step out of that, see the truth clearly, see the mirror clearly, as Rumi says. If you want a clear mirror, behold yourself and see the shameless truth. So look at the truth whether you like what you see or not. Once you can do that, then honestly, the strength that you gain, the clarity that you gain, will stay with you for the rest of your life. So what this is an invitation to do is to don't even play the game anymore. You don't have to win the game. Step off the playing field. Yes, look what happens when you step off the playing field. Queen of Cups. She is walking gracefully. She doesn't have to look down. Her intuition is so strong. Her trust is so great that she knows the next turtle will be there for her next step. She is moving with such emotional grace, emotional intuition. This queen is above that playing field. And this is the energy that you're transmuting from being Moonlight Shy to being the queen of your emotions, the queen of your space, the queen of your heart. And remember, it's not gendered. It's just an energy. Okay, Alchemist, this is what I have for you today. If this resonated with you, please tell me down in the comments and start a good discussion about this. And I know your great work is continuing. You're doing such good work, such hard work. This is not easy stuff. Most people see this and run screaming off into the sunset. But you are brave and strong, and you're going to face it, whether it hurts or not. But on the other side of that is going to be something so beautiful and empowering. So may this guide you with grace and purpose. I'll see you soon, Alchemist.